Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Forecast, and today's going to be going for my Premier League predictions for Game Week 16. If you enjoy this, it would be great if you subscribe to the channel as well as liking the video. So starting off with Chelsea at home to Everton, and Everton have just started to pick up some good form. They've coming off a win against Nottingham Forest and a win away at Bournemouth. They did previously though lose 4-1 to Newcastle. Chelsea go into this game into the mixed form, very Chelsea right now, where they look great for a couple of games and then struggle against sort of the worst sides, and this could happen in this game. Everton will make it difficult for Chelsea, I have no doubt about this. This game though, I do think Chelsea should have enough quality to win. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Chelsea. Then we are on to Liverpool at home to Brighton. I think this is a very difficult game to predict. I can see all three outcomes. And I do actually think this game does suit Liverpool to an extent. I think it's very similar to that 2-0 win over Aston Villa, where Brighton will actually play out from the back. They will give Liverpool chances to press. They're not going to play into Liverpool's weaknesses as much as other sides. And they don't have the quality of like a Manchester City where they just play Liverpool off the park. And for this reason, I actually think Liverpool could potentially win this game. Brighton, though, have been better than Liverpool so far this season. There's no doubt about this. But they are an inconsistent side. And it is hard to predict outcomes for Brighton in games right now. For this game, I am going to go with the Liverpool win. I think Liverpool can get the job done in this game. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Liverpool. If Liverpool can win this game, this will definitely ease the pressure off Arne Slot, considering we got a win away at Inter Milan before this game. So then we're on to Burnley Fulham, and I definitely think this is a game where Burnley should be looking at and saying, can we get a result from it? Because there's not a lot of games this season where I think Burnley really have a decent chance. I think this could be one. Their home form's been alright so far this season, but Fulham do still have a lot more quality, I would still say, than Burnley. I think this is going to be a really close game between these two sides. I think, though, I am going to go with a Fulham win. I think you can't really not because of Fulham's quality compared to Burnley. And I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Fulham. So then we're on to Arsenal versus Wolves, first versus 20th in the Premier League. And what is the actual point of this game if you are a Wolves player, if you are a Wolves fan? I can't see a world where they pick up anything from this game. And Wolves are just absolutely shocking. There's no doubt about this. They've picked up 2 points from 15 games so far this season. And they're just terrible to watch. There's sort of no inspiration, no hope. It doesn't seem to matter what game it is. Wolves just can't win a game of football, and you can't see it changing away at the Emirates. I think this could come down to how many Arsenal want to score against them. For this game, I'm going to go with a 5-0 win, but I could see any scoreline above sort of 3 goals. I think it comes down to how many goals Arsenal want to put it past Wolves, and if Arteta wants to get that goal difference up. We're on to Crystal Palace hosting Manchester City, and I think Crystal Palace have the potential to get something from this game. They have been a dangerous side at home so far this season. They're causing a lot of quality sides problems, especially at Selhurst Park. They're a great side, Crystal Palace, great structure, and Oliver Glasner is a top coach. Definitely see Manchester City slipping up in this game because of Crystal Palace's quality that they do have. Manchester City obviously also have a lot of quality, but so far this season I don't think they've been the most convincing side. In some games they look great, in other games they look poor, and they've also got another Champions League game against Real Madrid away, which will be a difficult fixture where they probably would have exerted a lot of energy, a high intensity game. Crystal Palace though have also played in Europe as well, so that might balance out this game, and for that reason I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I think that this is going to be a really good game to watch. Then we're on to Nottingham Forest at home to Spurs. And Spurs so far this season are just a bit of a mixed bag, but their away form has actually been very good. Their home form is absolutely poor, but their away form is a lot better. And maybe Spurs can win this game away at the City grounds. I think Sean Dyche has made Forest a lot more solid, a lot more difficult to beat. It won't be as simple as it would have been playing Forest under Ange Postecoglou, and for this reason I do think that Forest may get through for this game, but I am actually going to go with a Spurs win based off the fact that also Forest have also played 2 days after in Europe, so Spurs I think will have a bit more energy going into this game, and their away form so far has been good. For this reason I am going to go with a 2-1 away win for Spurs, but I could see any result in this game. So then we've got the best game of the weekend by far in my opinion. We've got the Tyne-Wear derby, or the Wear-Tyne derby, between Sunderland and Newcastle, and I think everyone is so excited for this game to have this rivalry back. One of the best derbies, I think, in the world, and definitely one of the best in the UK. There is no doubt about that. A game of high intensity, high passion, and two of the best fan bases in England, and it's really going to be interesting to see who can come out on top in this game, because at the start of the season I think most people just said Newcastle should be able to win both games. Sunderland, that don't have the quality to compete, but Sunderland are absolutely flying in the Premier League, and they are at home, which I actually think could put them as slight favourites for this game. But I could see any result. I do sort of think in this sort of game it is just so hard to predict. I do also think when it's a derby of this magnitude, form is at least relevant going into this game, but Sunderland are just such a good side at home. No one can beat them at home. No one can beat them at the Stadium of Light. And for that reason, I am going to go with a Sunderland win. But if you said a Newcastle win, if you said a draw, I wouldn't argue with you at all. I'm going with a 2-1 win for Sunderland. Up against midfielders like Bruno G and Sandro Tonali. And it's going to be high intensity for this reason, I expect. I cannot see this game being flying challenges, being that sort of proper derby that we want to see. I think if Sunderland do manage to win this game, Jack is going to be so important because of his leadership. So then we're on to West Ham hosting Aston Villa, another club that has turned around their form under a new manager, that new manager being Nuno, as I think a lot of people expected. But Aston Villa have completely turned around their form since the start of the season. Now they are now 3 points off the top and looking like a side that could get into Champions League football for sure. But what could be some problems for Villa going into this game? Well, they have been in Europe in the last couple of days. The job done. I think their top players, though, are definitely going to have to step up for this game. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Aston Villa. Then we're on to Brentford hosting Leeds United. And look, Leeds United have started to turn around under Daniel Farke. There's no doubt about that after picking up 4 points in the last 2 games. More importantly, though, against Chelsea and Liverpool. But there is one key aspect, and that is the fact these games were at Ellen Road. And if Leeds do stay up, I think that is going to be the main reason why. I still doubt it. I still think that I can't see a West Ham or a Forest dropping down, which would mean that Leeds would be relegated. And look, I think at Ellen Road they are a side that can compete with most sides. Away from home, though, their form is shocking. They're showing no evidence that they're going to actually perform in this game, I think, still against Brentford. Against a Brentford side who continue to exceed expectations, especially at home this season. Good results against Manchester United, good results against Liverpool, a result against Chelsea getting a draw, a result against Newcastle United. Brentford are a difficult side to win against when it is at the GTEC, and for that reason I'm going to go with a Brentford win. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for Brentford. I think this is going to be a convincing performance. So then we're on to Manchester United hosting Bournemouth, and I can see any outcome in this game. I think this is a really difficult game to predict, and that is because Manchester United so far this season have had a pretty mixed bag. Recently, though, I think they are starting to struggle. I think that game against Wolves does sort of cover the cracks. Wolves are a terrible side, and every side right now would probably win against Wolves. So I don't think that is a result that we should be basing Manchester United sort of starting to look like a better side again. For Bournemouth have definitely slowed up as well, though, in the last sort of 5 games. They're not as convincing anymore, and the results are showing. But could they go away to Old Trafford and get 3 points? I think they could, but I think for this game, I am going to go with a draw. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw for this game. I do think, though, Manchester United need a win, considering after this game they lose Amad Diallo and Brian Mbeumo. That is their right-hand side, where I think United have all their threats so far this season. And I think United's form is about to take an even bigger dip, especially if they don't win this game, because they need to start getting on a run with this side. Because otherwise, I could see Manchester United continue to struggle. And look, Ruben Amorim might start to become under more pressure, despite of what Sir Jim Ratcliffe has been saying. Let me know your thoughts on these Premier League predictions for Game Week 16. And if you enjoyed this, it would be great if you subscribe to your channel as well as liking the video.